Moving on now, Wednesdays here on the program, we like to put the spotlight on the farm women's group, Common Ground.
Common Ground is a group of farm women who want to be a resource for consumers who want to know more about how their food is grown. In this segment, we hear from Common Ground volunteer Anita about various water sources for cattle and how windmills are a popular choice for her family's operation.
Well, we're heading now to Cherry County to meet with our Common Ground volunteer, Anita. We are talking about how water gets to the cattle on the ranch.
Yes, and I'm going to start out by explaining just how much water cattle drink. I kind of looked up how much, and the statistics say lactating cows and calves, 2 gallons per 100 pounds per day. Carrie said, just figure 30 gallons a day. So we'll just kind of go with that. Now, I want to share, out in the sandhills, and you're probably all familiar with the windmills and the beauty that they give to the countryside out here. Here out in the sandhills, and Carrie tells me, remind people this is just the way we do it. Everybody does it a little different. So I'm just going to share what happens on the Keys Ranch. Anyway, and so first of all, most of our water is from windmills. And this has been generational. And of course, the source of that is the wind. And, you hear people sometimes complaining about, oh, it's so windy. Well, when you have windmills, you want it to be windy. If it's still for 2 or 3 days in a row, then we have to really take a close look at that and maybe even move the cattle to a different pasture. Carrie feeds first thing in the morning. As soon as the sun's up, he's out there feeding the calves right out front here. And then they eat at the bunk, and then they progress to the water. One gets up and goes, and then the rest all follow. Creatures of habit. I had not really realized that that's how the cattle do it. And it's true. When you're driving down the road, sometimes you'll see these cattle just in a line going to get water. There's a tank, and they vary in size. And if too many cattle drink all at once, it takes a while for that to fill back up again, especially if we're talking with a windmill. Where they place the windmills, and that varies too. Out here in the sandhills, because of our soil type, okay, so the soil up on the top of the hills it's looser up there, not as compact as it is down in the valleys. So it gets a blowout around it, the sand starts to blow, and that's not a good thing. It also means you put it up on top of that hill. Yeah, we have a lot of wind up there, but you got to dig a way deeper well. Then I want to talk a little bit about other sources here that are used in the sandhills. Solar, so those do not have the towers on them. They'll have a kind of like a little plaque. It's by the tank, and then they'll put a good guarding fence around that because those panels are expensive and the cattle are kind of hard on them because they like to rub on anything. And so solar is another option. Pipeline, and you're hearing more of this, and I think there's some government programs that are helping people to put in pipeline ones. The source of that is electricity. Then, of course, there's live water, which is like the creek or a lake, and I think that covers most of what I wanted to talk about as far as the water sources. It really depends where you live, what you do.
Very good. Okay, and you are coming back with a recipe to share.
Yes, it's kind of a quick and easy one that you can just pull together with 3 ingredients.
Looks good. We'll see you in a few minutes.